Let's look at some ways to get information from the calendar and make the calendar experience a little more useful for you and your family. When you log in on this top row, you click on your calendar. There's a lot of information, a lot going on here. I'm going to take you through what they are and how you can customize it. At the top on the left-hand side, you have your calendars that pertain to you as a parent. My sample parent here doesn't have any groups. A lot of parents won't have groups, but that's where that would appear. All the calendars toggle on and off, and all the sections collapse and expand. The next section is going to be your child's calendar. If you have multiple children, then you'll have multiple calendars along here, each with your child's name and then the things they're involved in. So for assignments, you can toggle off on and off specific classes, or you can take assignments away completely. The bright green is their daily schedule. So again, if you have multiple children, these with schedules like in middle and upper school, these quickly get overwhelming, but you can easily take them on and off and toggle them back on just by individual children to see a particular child's schedule on a particular day. Similar, same thing with their games and practices, whatever teams they are a part of. This is about their commitments. So if they have multiple teams, again, same idea, toggle on and off their games and practices. Class events, similar to assignments. And then group events, again, if they I don't have a club on here with an event, but if they belong to a community group or a club, that's the color they would show up in. So on and off for each area and also for each child, and then they collapse up and down. Let's see. Then last, we have our school calendars. For the whole school, we have our athletics. So this is for everything, not just what your child is involved in, but the entire school. If you expand that, there are some check boxes here. We can toggle on and off for home games, away games, or if I say I only want to see home games. And then you can also look at specific sports, but that gives our games for all the athletic events throughout the school. The last one is what we call the all school calendar and key dates. If you expand that, you have some choices: fine arts, the key dates calendar, what's going on in the Olson Library, and then each division: preschool, lower, middle, upper. And we have our SIP events on there. So once I get in here and start trying to figure out what pertains to me and my family and what is most helpful for me to see on a routine basis, if I say I have just a middle and lower school student that maybe don't really have anyone in fine arts, I've got the key dates already down. Let's just leave SIP and middle and lower school. Those are the only things I want to see. And then I might look at my student and say, I don't need their schedule all the time, but I do want to see when they have assignments. Once I have my view set as to what I think is going to be what is most useful to me, I can click save. And then whether I log out, whether I go to resources and come back to my calendar, whether I go to my student, come back to my calendar, it's going to save that view for me. Now, if I get in here and decide that I need to, schedule a, eye appointment, and so I really need to see my student's schedule on some particular days that I'm trying to schedule these things, I can turn that on. And then if I say, oh, I forgot, I also need to make sure it doesn't conflict with a game, I can turn those on. And then once I'm done using that, if I go to restore, it will take it back to the last time I saved my view. So restore restores it to the last time it was saved. That's pretty much it for setting up your personal view. But I do want to point out that each of these items on the calendar is clickable and has additional information, depending on what information is available. If you wanted to see, if we wanted to look at the Eagle Night, the tailgate, it tells you what's happening, start, end time, food trucks available, lots of details. If you need to find out about claiming your spot the night before, you can click on details. And then if you have an assignment, you click on that and go to more details. It'll take you directly to the assignment page. So there's quite a bit of information available. If you had the schedule on and just needed to see what that was, you could go directly to the pre-cal class and see what's happening. But just be aware that there's a good bit of information available in here, but it can be overwhelming. So if you take a few minutes to get the view that is useful and relevant and just save, then I think you'll find that using the calendar is quite helpful.